Hey there, hello, and welcome to another Narjan Reacts. In this video, I'm going to be reacting to the 6th episode and possibly final episode of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I'm not quite sure if it's the final or not. I've heard rumors that they're going to actually make a second season, which fingers crossed that they do. But yeah, anyway, let's get into it. Uh-oh. The infamous warning. I'm more upset still about the robot than I am her, but I liked her too.
Kenobi is ours.
You sure about that?
You're not.
That was still such a badass scene for Vader. Yeah, still not a good idea to leave your communication device with that guy. I love how Lola's just there. Okay, wait, so she did survive. How, though? And how did she get there? Okay, so I'm curious, how much time has passed since then? Since we left off. So they're still on the same ship.
How much time do you need?
A lot more.
More than we have.
Lola being the little support-like person.
Scared.
Maybe I should borrow her too.
For what?
Howdy.
Howdy.
Neat kid.
I kind of told someone where you're located.
Leia! I find she needs to be given space. Just you must promise me.
She needs space. She's like a full-grown woman.
I'm in the clear. You have my word.
Like, I trust this guy, but at the same time, he's like a clumsy.
I may not.
He's kind of like the comedic relief. Sorta. Or he's, I guess, the buffoon.
Ben is gone.
Whose fault is that?
I mean, she's not wrong.
Take Luke. We stay. We need help.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty cool place.
Everyone else in danger, Owen. You and me.
To fight an inquisitor?
Drew, what are you doing?
We both.
They're packing heat. I'm not talking to him. I loosened her up a bit for you to talk to her.
Well, I wasn't going to give you a blaster, Leia. You're 10 years old.
Why not? I really like these two. Their chemistry. I want more adventures with young Leia and Obi-Wan.
I promise.
Don't make promises. Well, I mean, we know he survives, but whether he sees Leia or not.
It's about you and him.
A little bit of both. Poops out, little ship.
Escape craft. Wipe out
Now is his emotions gonna get in the way?
entirety.
He is not just any Jedi.
He was my master.
At once, Lord Vader.
Feelings got in the way. This gigantic ship shooting at this tiny little one. They're having their battle pretty soon, so I wonder what the rest of the episode's gonna be. Wait, is Lola in there? Aww. Little support droid. I want one. I want one right on my desk. I wonder if she's still wounded, actually. Because the way she's moving.
She's here. Have you come to destroy me, Obi-Wan?
I mean, you came to him.
Do what I must.
Then you will die.
He said the same thing from the he said the same thing to Ahsoka in Rebels. It's interesting how Darth, like, messed with Reva, but with Obi, he's going not full out, but he's not playing around. I mean, she may be injured, but couldn't she just deflect the bullets? Ah, and you missed. You had a perfect opportunity where she had your back to you, and you missed. Oh, just throw planners at her, that'll work.
Your strength has returned. But the weakness still remains.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, cheat.
And that is
Okay,
why
Earthbender.
You will always.
Okay, if Obi can bend all, like, bend. Okay.
Truly, you have failed, Master.
Call him master. I say bend. You know, once I think of earthbending, it's like, oh yeah, bending. He forces all that off. That would be like a show of power. Ow.
What do you
Okay, yeah, she's definitely still injured.
Justice.
How did he? Oh, I was saying, how do you know she was injured there? She's not trying to kill him though. She just wants. Which still doesn't make sense. What does this have to do with vengeance? Why not go after Obi unless it's because Obi cares about the boy that she's trying to hurt or kill the Luke to get back at Obi? But I hope she has a moment of clarity where she realizes she's acting just like Anakin did. Because it's all vengeance. Or protection. I guess a combination of vengeance and protecting the ones, well, failing to protect the ones he loved. He's holding all that back, jeez. When the past is literally weighing down on you. A New Hope. Yeah, Obi, come on. Come on, Obi. Ooh. Obi is back. Ooh, ow. Ow? That's like hundreds of pounds or 100 pounds each per rock slamming into Vader. I mean, gotta hand it to Vader that he's still standing after all that. Come out, wherever you are. Ooh. Ooh. That's his main computer system keeping him alive, isn't it? Oh! It's like, how do you like that? I recognize that sound effect. Nah, are they gonna pull a thing from Rebels? They are! But they did the other side. No, don't tell me we're gonna get a mix of the voices too. Come on.
Anakin.
No, this is actually hard.
I'm sorry.
You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did.
Ooh. I mean, that's kind of pressure off Obi, though, that he's not the one who killed Anakin.
The same way
Anakin did.
I will destroy you.
Then my friend is truly dead.
I'm surprised he didn't say brother. You can just see the hatred in his eyes. You can see that his mouth's not moving, so interesting. Nice detail though that it is his voice box thing that's helping him speak. Just like when Obi-Wan left on the thing. Man, that got me. It's just like they did like what they did with Ahsoka. With the mask being destroyed. Although I will say the Ahsoka moment kind of hit harder. And the like just the although Obi hit hard too because they're both like brothers to each other. And Anakin / Darth really is a tragic character. I had to recover from that. Oh, that's the end of the series. Luke's dead. This has become the what if. Come on, Rev, are you really gonna do what Anakin did? You'll be no better than him. I mean, we obviously know she doesn't because Luke's alive, but... Oh, yeah. Let the hate not flow through you, please. Amazing how big the house is underground, but it's this like tiny little hut above. And this whole time, I thought it was a giant, or not giant. I thought the hut was it, and I'm like, how do they live in there? They must have just like 2 beds, and they're just sleeping in there.
Ben!
Can you stop the yelling? You're gonna attract the Spinosaurus. I kind of knocked him out, so he might be in a coma, but sorry about that, but yeah, I think I'm good now. I mean, there's no burn marks, so obviously he didn't get stabbed. She's showing the mercy that she wished her and her friends had gotten.
I couldn't do it.
Because you're not a Sith.
I failed him. He killed them all and I couldn't do it.
Oh.
Have I become him?
No. You would have done it.
You've chosen not to. Who you become now
It's your choice.
it is up to you.
Back on Mordor.
You seem agitated, my friend. I wonder if your thoughts
Are clear.
are clear on this.
My master.
Dun, 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 dun. I think it's like the only signature music we've gotten in this whole series, though. Which, rightfully so, but... That's not it, is it? Okay. Let's say, we get more, right? Oh, is she gonna be in her outfit? Nah, she's not gonna be in her signature. There's her signature buns. Oh my god, she's so cute.
Let's go, young lady.
Just like, I'm sorry, but she looks like a little cosplayer of Leia.
Is that a holster?
Yes.
You said there were many ways to lead.
Looks like I was right.
If I'm going to do this, I'm going to want to change a few things.
No. Yay!
Lola!
She's like, she sounds more excited to see Lola than frickin' Obi. It's like, my robot's alive! I was wondering where you've been.
You know where to find me.
Let's hope that day never comes.
Ah.
What do you think I should do?
I think you should sleep.
Sleep.
I think you're right.
His laugh. Can this episode stop getting me emotional?
Ever see you again?
Oh yeah, those were the parts he was gonna give Luke. The animals look so good still.
What are you doing here?
Really?
You're gonna keep your distance.
And I will. Take good care of him.
I mean, didn't they technically fail? It was only Reva that went after them.
Oh well.
Hello there.
He said the thing! He said the thing! Oh, man. I was thinking to myself, are they gonna drop that anywhere in here? He just says it to look. Oh my god. Hello there. Oh, that's great. Ah, that was just the cherry on top. Qui-Gon?
Master Qui-Gon.
Yeah, she get to see him. Yay!
Long enough.
And he talks!
Beginning to think you'd never come.
We're not ready to see.
He was blocked from the forest and stuff.
Come on. You've got a ways to go.
I mean, you think about it, at least his relationship with his master was like great, which I'm sure is what made it also hard for him, Obi-Wan, to see Anakin turn out the way he did. Alright, before I say anything else, let me go ahead and get to my thoughts. Alright, so the plot for this episode. Now, this is going based off of, I'm gonna go based off of this is the finale for the series, because I haven't looked further because I wanted to avoid as much spoilers as possible from this episode. So I didn't really look into much else, but I did see somebody say somewhere, I forgot, it was like I glanced at an article name or something where they said season 2 has been greenlit or something like that, so that'll be awesome if it is, but I'm gonna go based off of that it hasn't, and this is the finale for the series. So plot for this episode, I feel like it was a good wrap up. Like we got the final fight and confrontation between Obi and Darth. We got to wrap up with Leia and her getting back to her parents. We got to see the rebels, you know. I mean, I don't think they're called rebels yet, are they? They're just, I forgot what they called them, but I'll just say rebels. But you see the rebels got to escape. We got a wrap up for also Obi-Wan not feeling guilty over what happened with Anakin / Darth. And then we got the ending wrap up with him seeing Leia one last time, which is great. I was like, they can't leave it off where she thinks he's dead. I mean, they could, but that wouldn't feel right. And then him getting to meet Luke, and of course the hello there. That's great. So he did get to meet Luke. Excuse me, ma'am. This is last time I checked. This is my thoughts, not yours. Thank you. Bye. And then you had him seeing Qui-Gon. So yeah, I felt like this episode wrapped up the series nicely. For the series as a whole, okay, you know what? Let me get my thoughts on the series as a whole after I talk about this episode. So, plot of the episode, I enjoyed it. I liked it. Definitely, I would say number 1 actually, and then episode 1 and 2, like the premiere or second. I'm gonna consider them one episode. So I would say this one's number 1, then the premiere was number 2, and then I would say number 3 was one prior to this. But the rest of them are just like okay. Kinda, alright. Characters, I feel like the one that got the most development, which is he's the title of the show, is Obi-Wan. So you got to see him go from a man who was pretty much broken and scared and riddled with guilt with what happened from the past, and he basically, through this series, the short series, he came to realize that he shouldn't be afraid anymore, and that he had to accept that the past is the past, and that also by Vader saying that you didn't kill Anakin, I did, I feel like that lifted the weight. Mainly, that's what lifted the weight off of Obi-Wan's shoulders, that he didn't, I think it helped him realize he didn't cause Anakin to go down that path or assisted it. I mean, I guess they sort of did because he was part of the Jedi Council, but he wasn't the one that made the main decision of the Council of not making Anakin Jedi Master. But I'm sure he felt guilty for all that, and I was able to help Anakin. So I feel like that did lift it all, like most of it off of his shoulders, to help him regain control of the Force, or his strength in the Force, and brought him to where he is at the end of the series, where he's pretty much probably the Obi-Wan that we know. I mean, he probably goes through who knows what with Qui-Gon and stuff to learn more. So to become the Obi-Wan we know in the original trilogy. So I feel like Obi-Wan definitely had the best development in this series. Reva, despite the hate she's gotten, I feel like my favorite Inquisitor. Sorry, I mean, like, the main Inquisitor, I liked him in the Rebels. Not Rebels. Yeah, Rebels. Yeah, Rebels. I liked him in Rebels, but other than that, this series, I could care less, to be honest. I just didn't care for him. Rebels. Yeah, so that's a separate series, so I'm not even going to count him from that one. This one, didn't care for him. I mean, we don't really see the other two Inquisitors, the Asian guy and then the other lady, like, I think we didn't see them since they went to the underwater base. So, I didn't really care for them either. I mean, the lady Inquisitor had barely anything, and then the Asian guy talked, like, the most. But Reva had the most focus as an Inquisitor, and I feel like I do like her story. Like, people were confused on the last episode where it showed her younger self getting stabbed by Anakin and her, and people were saying, oh, well, if she got stabbed back then, how did she survive to now? You know, nobody was there to really save her. Who saved her then? And I think what people weren't seeing was that it wasn't literally him stabbing her, but prior to that, she escaped. She survived. Like, she had run away or something like that. Like, she didn't. I mean, maybe she did get stabbed, because from what I took it as was that it was more like she was seeing herself being stabbed now as if she had been stabbed back then and died, kind of thing. But that's where I think if that's not what the director meant, then I feel like an additional scene of maybe Anakin sensing like what he could use her for, kind of thing, like a flashback of Anakin like saving her, kind of thing, would have helped establish that. But it just felt it felt like it could be taken two ways. One, either it was a vision she was seeing, or two, it was that Anakin literally stabbed her and then somehow she survived through that and whatever. But Reva as a character, I like. Personally, her development, I like her as a character, and I hope we see more of her. I don't know if we will or not, but I would like to see more of her. Let's see. We got to see more from Luke's parents and them defending Luke against Reva. Like, I like them for the roles they play. Like, I do, and I also like that at the end. I'm blanking on the father's name. But he realized that keeping Ben or Obi away from Luke wouldn't help with anything, so he let Luke and Obi-Wan meet. I do kind of wish, and maybe if there is a second season, they could do that. I was kind of hoping we would see more, kind of like how Leia and Obi got close. I would like to see maybe some moments between Obi-Wan and Luke where he can be like, you're like your father. But I feel like we got quite a bit of that from Leia, where it showed that she had a lot of the personalities from both Padme and Anakin. So I'm not sure what they could do for season 2, but it'll be interesting to see. And Luke didn't have much screen time at all. So again, that's an opportunity for a second season where we see more of Luke. So Luke was okay. Let's see, the parents of Leia, I like them. I mean, they're from the second trilogy, or the prequels, I should say. So, I mean, they were them. I like them. I feel like I like them more than I did. And that was Luke's father's name. I like Leia's parents more than I do Luke's parents, but we also got, I feel like, more screen time with Leia's parents, so we got to see more of their personality, kind of thing. But I like their personality. The personality I did see, I liked them more. Because they felt more like they were secure, like they weren't. Whereas Luke's parents felt more scared and protective. Maybe not the mom so much, but the dad. Owen felt more like reserved, like scared. Like he was more like reactive and more like defensive, whereas Leia's parents were more relaxed and kind of accepting and all that stuff. So, who else? I mean, Clara, you know, the one that Obi-Wan, the lady who had the holster that Obi-Wan gave to Leia, her and then the robot are gone, so I can't really say anything about them. I feel like Rogan, that's his name, right? Rogan. I wonder if is he from any of the previous series, whether it was the animated ones or the live action ones. Was he from any of them? Because it'd be kind of cool if they had tied in a character from this into the future, like the way he said, I'll be a part of this, or like pretty much he's like, I'll be a part of this in the future, kind of thing. Like it'd be kind of cool if it was actually somebody from the previous series or that's been shown before, and this is like how he started. That would be kind of cool. Rogan, that was his name, Rogan. Who else? Oh, I'm blanking on one of the main characters, Anakin / Vader. I mean, you could see where Anakin's emotions did, like Vader's. I call him Vader Anakin, but at this point he's Vader. But Vader's emotions got in the way for Obi-Wan, and so he blindly went after Obi-Wan instead of going after the insurgents. And then that moment between Obi-Wan and Vader, that as soon as I heard that breathing sound when Obi-Wan damaged Vader's apparatus or the machine on his chest, as soon as I heard that breathing, I'm like, nah, they're not gonna actually they're not gonna do like a similar scene as they did with Ahsoka and Vader, are they? And lo and behold, they did it. And I feel like I said then, I feel like the scene with Ahsoka and Anakin hurt a little bit more for me, and I kind of like the way the voice combination was handled more, and how hard it. And also, Vader in this episode also said that then you will die, just like he did to Ahsoka. But I feel like when he said that to Ahsoka, it hit harder, and I'm not exactly sure the timeline, like if that scene with Ahsoka happened before this with Obi-Wan, or if this part with Obi-Wan happened before his encounter with Ahsoka. But I feel like, yeah, that scene with with Vader and Ahsoka hit harder. But this one definitely, I mean, you could see from the tears that this one got me. And I think it's because, again, they were like brothers, and seeing how they are now, and basically Vader wanting to kill Obi-Wan and stuff, it's really sad. And like I said, Vader's a very tragic character. Like, probably one of the most tragic characters. Vader / Anakin is one of the most tragic characters, I think, in cinema history. Like, literally. I hope we see more of Vader stuff in Anakin things, like, honestly. So, yeah. Vader. Well handled and all that stuff. Everyone was pretty much well handled. I mean, Leia, I still don't get the hate for her. It's just, it seems weird to me that people are hating on her. She was adorable. She felt like a mini, like Leia before adult Leia. So, hands up. You know, kudos to the actress who played young Leia. She did a great job. Luke, we haven't seen enough for me to say anything. Hayden coming back as Anakin / Vader, great. I forgot Obi's actual name, but he's great as usual. It honestly feels like, I feel like, okay, no, I start going into the thoughts of the whole series, but I'm trying to resist that. Okay, so special effects, still great. The thing I'm most impressed with, I feel like, is honestly the animals. Like, I look at how the animals looked back then when people would be riding them and stuff, and how kind of janky it looked. Like, it looked good back then, but it looks janky now. But, like, I look at the animals and, like, how Obi-Wan was riding that thing with a long, like, nose, and it literally looked like a real creature. Like, it looked like they probably had him riding a camel, or, yeah, it had to have been a camel, and then they comped the creature on top of it, and it looked great. Like, and I appreciate the practical effects they do put into this. Like, again, in one episode I said it looked like stop motion. I wonder if it was stop motion. Lola, some scenes her being practical and stuff. Like, I appreciate the practical effects. So it was nice because I know like the original Star Wars had a lot of practical effects, with a mix of also CGI. So special effects were great in the series. Some parts, obviously, like, but this is also a TV series, so like a short series, so I'm not expecting like movie quality production, but it was great. Music, again, I feel like almost like I would have rather they have taken music from the movies, some of the movies, and put in like basically the most substantial music we got was when when it was Reva, not Vader, when Reva came down on the ship when they were first going after the insurgents, and that her ship was coming down, and it was just this big chorus kind of thing. I'm like, that feels epic for just a ship landing. That's why I thought it was Vader, more so than I thought it would be Reva. But and then second most impressive music was when Obi-Wan and Vader were fighting in this episode. It never hit like the music between Darth Maul and I think it was like, was it Qui-Gon or Obi-Wan music? I think it was I would say because I always blank on the music, the name of the music that was played during that, but they only used it for the trailer, and I'm surprised they didn't use it anywhere in this anywhere in this series. So, and then you had Vader's music, so it's the only music we got that came from this original series, or from anywhere in the series previously. So I feel like, and the music that they did use for Obi-Wan versus Vader was okay. Like, it didn't feel major, like this was such a major moment for those two characters, and the music felt okay. Like, it felt like short series quality. Not even short series, I can't say that, because Rebels and honestly, Rebels and Clone Wars had some amazing music in their series, and they were just cartoons, but they were both amazing series. Like, I'm only halfway through Rebels at this point, but the moment between Ahsoka and Vader was very sad music. So I felt like music wise the series was okay. Best two music points were Reva coming down in her ship and ending with Vader with his traditional music. Other than that, it's okay. Okay, so overall thought for this series. I feel like for the overall series, I think it served its purpose for kind of like a backstory, like kind of like I guess like a backstory on Obi-Wan and what happened to him before we get the Obi-Wan in the original trilogy. So I feel like this served its purpose, and it was good. It had some great moments, but I feel like if I compared it to other series, granted this was only 6 episodes, so not even like, this was literally, well, they're also 40-minute episodes, so I guess you double that's pretty much 12 episodes in a season of like Clone Wars. So about that, and honestly, I feel like more stuff happened in a season of Clone Wars in Rebels than it did in this. So, and I don't know if that's unfair to compare it, but I don't know. I feel like more things happened in Clone Wars than in this series, and I really enjoyed Clone Wars. This one, like I said, had some great moments, but some of the parts I'm just like, okay, yeah, okay. Like, I was kind of waiting for more of that, like moments like Obi-Wan and Vader's fight, or like the moments between Obi-Wan and Leia, like more, I don't want to say more hard-hitting scenes or more like important scenes, because you can have lull moments in between those, but I don't know how to exactly say it. It just felt like this one was more or less uneventful. Like, the 6 episodes have been about, which is hard to believe, it's only been 6 episodes, and in fact, it feels weird. Like, this feels like this could have been a 12 episodes season, but it was compacted into 6 episodes, which maybe is the problem, that this needed more time to be fleshed out or something, more episodes for a season. but this was also a short series, so I don't know. It's hard because I've never really watched a short series before like this. That's only 6 episodes. That's a live action, like 40 minutes, close to an hour, like episodes. So I guess let's see. I'll just say if I were to rate the series, if we're not gonna get another season, I'll rate the season as it is, and it's this was it. I would give it. It's hard because there's some moments that are great. I would give it 7.5 to 8 out of 10. I would say 7.5 to 8. I feel like that's a good rating to go on. 7.5 to 8 out of 10 for me for this series. But I really do hope we do get a second season because that gives a chance for more stuff to be fleshed out and see more things. So fingers crossed that there is a second season. But nevertheless, I did enjoy this series. I'm really happy to see Hayden back as, even though he's Vader, but he got to see him flashback as Anakin. I'm happy to see him back. It was great to see him back. I'm happy to see, is it Owen? No, never mind. I'm mixing Luke's father's name with Obi-Wan's actor's name. So, it's great to see the actor for Obi-Wan back. Seeing Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon was great. Seeing the original actors for Leia's parents were great. Like a lot of that stuff was great, so I'm really happy to see that. But overall, yeah, 7.5 out of 8. Like the series, hope to see more. Yeah, I think those are my thoughts for this episode and the series / season. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this reaction. And if you like early access to my full unedited reactions, go join my Patreon. Links in the description and pinned comment below. Other than that, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, night, and keep burning bright. Bye.